All right. Hey, welcome everybody to episode 12 of the Branding Iron. And here I have Kyna from Scottsdale, Arizona. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, Kyna, and how did you get to be in this situation where you're?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kyna. My business name is the Stretch Ninja. So I do fascial stretch therapy, and everybody always goes, "Woohoo! Get excited!"
So what is fascial stretch? What is that?
So fascial.
I'm actually about to find out on Saturday. I've booked an appointment.
Yeah.
Full disclosure here.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys know on Monday if I'm still walking and talking.
Right. So fascial stretch therapy is a stretch therapy where you're fully clothed, and it helps with creating more space in your body, helps with muscle recovery. It also helps with injury prevention, better blood flow.
So for the layperson, it's actual stretching, like you're pulling over here.
It's stretching, but it's very restorative at the same time. Okay. So it's not anything that's painful. It's not supposed to be painful. So the fascia is actually the encasing around the muscles, the connective tissue. Okay. So if you think about it in those terms, almost like having saran wrap around your entire body, and it would be the encasing around the muscles. So
how did you get to do that? Like, what were you doing
before?
Yeah. Well, actually, let's go way back. Where are you from?
I'm from Minneapolis originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Minneapolis?
Born and raised in Minneapolis.
All right.
And then moved out here just about 20 years ago.
So you don't have much of an accent. That's all right.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Neither do I. So.
Yeah.
How old were you when you moved here?
How old was I moving? Okay, so
you finished high school or something, or finished?
I was 12 when I moved out here.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. I just because I don't want to reveal my age. No, I'm just kidding. I was 28.
Okay,
you can do the math on that.
I moved here when I was 28 as well. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, why Arizona?
So my sister actually moved out here before I did. And I just wanted a change of scenery, and I had gotten one of those real jobs when I first had moved out here.
What's the real job?
I was a medical device rep.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, and then I went into pharmaceuticals, and then realized that I was on the wrong side of the fence.
Why is that?
Just, I wanted to be in preventative health rather than the Band-Aid approach, and it was more like Big Brother watching over you. It was like having gold handcuffs. So it wasn't what I thought. That was what I wanted, to be more of a patient advocate, but it didn't turn out to be a patient advocate. It was more of a professional caterer / pill pusher. So. And
you were working for other people.
Yeah.
And now, are you working for yourself now?
Yes, I am.
All right. So that entrepreneurial spirit,
yes,
just have to come out.
Absolutely.
You have to let it out. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
But you did get probably some experience in sales, right? So
I have
that's key.
Very extensive sales and marketing background, just coming from a family of entrepreneurs. Everything from radio advertising to.
Were your parents entrepreneurs?
Yes.
What did they do?
So my father was in the car business for 20 years. He also had medical weight loss clinics where they did that for over 11 years. They saw 500 patients a week. So
wow,
they had a
crazy.
very successful practice. I have other family members that have been in the health and fitness.
So that was kind of like, I forgot to put this on silent. Sorry about that. So that's not like, it's familiar to you that, you work for yourself, and sometimes you work long hours and you have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, so when you got here, you did that, and then that was the next thing you did straight to this, or how did you?
Oh, no, there was many twists and turns and, successes and failures.
Did you had some pretty odd jobs along the way? Or?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, I worked for my uncle. He had some health and wellness clinics here as well. So I worked for him for a little while, and then I worked selling cars.
All right.
Yeah, I thought I was going to go to naturopath school, so I thought I was going to put myself through naturopath school and realized that fitness training was more my path. And
what was it like selling cars? Was that pretty...
It was interesting. I think some of the employees that I work with, when I had said that I was going to leave and I told them that I was going to be a trainer, they said, "Oh, that's way more fitting for you," because I was having more fun giving the little kids cart rides than I was on actually selling the cars.
Did you sell any cars?
Oh, I actually did pretty well with it. It's just, it was a lot of long hours and weekends.
Yeah.
And it's just, I knew that really that was going to be a temporary vehicle to get me through naturopath school, but then just decided
So did you finish naturopath?
Oh, I changed my mind. I decided that fitness training would be more
fun,
more my speed than spending all those hours taking biochemistry classes. So
you got go right to actually doing rather than the thinking about doing part.
Yeah.
Now you have a physical location, right?
Yes, I have.
Scottsdale and Shea.
It's Shea and 70th Street, but it's very close to Scottsdale and Shea.
Okay, so now, how long has that been in operation?
So I've been working out of a wellness facility. So I'm part of a wellness team for 2.5 years now.
Okay.
So I really have been enjoying.
So the thing I was going to ask for that is if it's only been a month, but it's 2 years, how did you get marketing this, and how did you what worked? Did you find something in the beginning that was tough, like you couldn't get any traction, or?
So what I found, and the secret to anything in life, if you're wanting to be an entrepreneur, is really working on grassroots marketing. And, it's great people that want to do a lot of social media, but it's really connecting with other people and really getting out there. So
if you're using social media, that's because you like people and you want to connect, rather than I'm just blasting out my message. And
I don't really spend much time marketing my business on social media. Most of my time that I spend is developing relationships in person. So I do have a presence on social media, but that's not where I get a majority of my business. Majority of my business is from making real, authentic, face-to-face, like as my dad would say, belly to belly, being out there. And so he's always said, when you're everywhere, you don't have to be anywhere. So it's just a matter of developing a rapport with people, and people work with people they like, know, and trust. So just being out there, having fun, and Are you putting out
content of what people could use for what you're teaching or what your service is? Are you putting out some content?
I haven't really done that much with that with this portion of my business. When I was working with the bouncy shoes more often, I was pushing out a lot more content.
What is the
Kangoo jumps? So I have another business name.
Okay.
And it's called Rocket Girl Fitness, or the other name it's known for is Kangoo Club AZ. I have a video on YouTube right now.
The bouncy shoes part really got me interested.
Yeah, they look like rollerblades with springs on them. So this particular video, it has me with the shoes on at Tempe Town Lakes, reaching over 670,000 views.
Wow. So did people ask to buy the shoes, or did you get a lot of comments? Or
I've had a decent amount of people buy the shoes, but the big part that I was promoting was corporate wellness events.
Okay.
Doing events with little companies like Bose Corporation and Coca-Cola and ASU and Phoenix Children's Hospital.
So what happened? What did this lead to?
Well, it was something fun, but it was a very trendy thing that I was doing. It didn't really have the longevity. I mean, it
So
was
bouncy
more.
shoes are not around anymore?
They're still around. I still have.
Have you
I
heard
still
of that?
have fun with them.
That's weird. That does sound interesting.
They have 33 health benefits. They're kind of goofy looking, but they actually get people pretty amazing results.
Now I'm really interested. I got to look these up. So they're spring.
They look like rollerblades with springs on them.
And you run on them, and
yes.
And you don't try to fall down on the concrete or
no,
anything,
you
right?
definitely don't try to fall down on the concrete.
So do you run on like soft grass, or what do you?
Oh, you can run on concrete, grass. I've hiked Pinnacle with them on. I wouldn't recommend it. Done a bunch of half marathons with them.
Okay, I gotta look these up. It sounds super funny.
Yeah, it's very funny looking, but it's a really amazing workout. So
what part of the body does it work out?
It works the whole body. It's like
your
having
core is off balance a little bit, or
yeah, it actually helps with like the Bosu ball, an elliptical machine, and like a rebounder all in one. So it's like a full body workout.
Okay, so that's a total sidetrack, but very interesting.
I know.
What other interesting sidetracks? What's the weirdest job you've had?
The weirdest job I've ever had?
Or like wacky or...
Let's see. I would say probably one of my weirdest jobs I've had was when I worked at a bowling alley.
Okay.
And so I was the waitress, the cook, I bussed the dishes, and cashiered.
So how was the service? Really good? You must have been running around
well,
like crazy.
I was really good at multitasking.
Yeah, and you like people, so...
yeah, so that worked out great.
I think the weirdest one I had was telephone market research and political surveys at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So this company would they would get a contract to do like a product survey, and it's hard enough to get people on the phone. So what they eventually started doing is putting two different things together. And so they'd be like, you'd call somebody up and say, hello, I'm from the Summerhill Research Center. Have you heard of Lay's potato chips? And they're like, yes. Who did you vote for in the last election?
Oh my gosh.
So you got these completely random things, and you'd have these weird people, and ended up me and 7 or 8 of my friends all worked there. Oh. So it was, I was I think 19 years old. That was a fun place.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I did forget one other job that I had. It was just like a little side thing. I was a secret shopper for one of my dad's friends when he was doing sales training for different car dealerships. So I would go in there and pretend that I was going to buy a car.
Oh, that must have pissed off the sales guy, because he's like, I'm going to make money. I'm going to make money. Nope. Nope.
I was really nice to them, though. Yeah. It's just, you only take it so far, and then you gotta just...
It happened to me once when I was selling wine, and it turned out to be my boss's like mother or something came in, and I'm like, what is with this lady? I've tried everything, and I can't get it. She's almost there, but then she says this, and I go, okay, well, that's cool. Just tell me you don't drink, and I won't bother you anymore. Right. And then she let it out. She's like, actually, I just wanted to let you know I was a secret shopper, and I really wanted to buy some wine from you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So but before we started here, you'd mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
And that's how I met him, or got involved with that. Is I was trying to sell wine for a wine company inside Costco, and I could only sell and talk about this one wine, and there was obviously 50 other kinds there, and I can't afford to buy them. I don't have time to read all this stuff. So finally I looked up on YouTube and I saw his stuff, and I was like, well, this is a really crazy way to sell wine. I think if I talk like him, I'll be able to sell more wine. And it worked.
Wow.
This was when the economy tanked, so I needed a second job to make ends meet.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool. He's an interesting guy. I have several of his books, so.
Interesting thing also, before we started, some of those Changing Hands bookstore, I mean, there must have only been like 20 or 30 people at some of those events, right?
Yeah.
And we were both at them.
Yeah.
So we just have to find the other 29 people.
Right. That's
Bring 'em on the
awesome.
show.
Might be able to see the picture and see where you were.
I brought
in
a
the
wine
audience.
bottle up for him to sign.
Oh.
So I
how
was the
cool.
guy with the wine bottle,
how
which was
cool.
one of his things that he was selling.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh, cool. Since he's here, I'll get this signed. I still have it.
Oh, wow.
So, but
That's
I think I
awesome.
need to drink it pretty soon.
Yeah.
How did you come across what he was up to?
It was actually my dad. My dad said, "Oh, you've got to check out this guy. He's so crazy. You know, he does these, wine videos."
What was your first impression?
Oh, I thought it was great. He just seemed really outrageous, and I just loved how outrageous he was.
The energy level and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, okay, cool. I believe that. My favorite video of his is one where he's like, I think it was called How to Train Your Palate.
Okay.
And in like 25 or 30 minutes, he like eats all this different stuff and says, this tastes like that. And he's like eating up dirt from the parking lot of Wine Library. He's like, this is like this. And this is a hot pepper. And he's like, just keeps going and going and going. And at the very end, he pops open a $400 bottle of Cristal and it's like, glug, 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 glug.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So that really helped too, because I went in and I was like, oh, okay, lemongrass. All this different stuff. I went to the spice rack at the grocery store and bought all that, and then I'm like, okay, now I can describe wines better than like, yeah, this is like Captain Crunch, like he does. So
Yeah.
So as far as the marketing and stuff, you're face to face, not too much online, although you did have a lot of success with the video. Anything else you've been doing, like any print or stuff like that?
I
or
have some things
sponsorships?
right now that I'm in process of right now. Back in the day when I was working with the shoes, I do have a couple DVDs, fitness videos that are floating around. So I've been
put them on YouTube, right?
There's those aren't on YouTube, but I do have a whole YouTube channel and been on TV a bunch of times.
Okay.
But with my new business, I've been working with the stretch therapy and doing all of this for almost 4 years now. So I'm looking to bring new content out, working with some different people on some new photography, some images,
so you have
graphic
content
design
to put out there.
Yeah. So I'm working on that right now. So.
Maybe with Max, who was on here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. Yeah. Well, he's going to be in the Amazon for a few weeks, and I believe Bolivia. He promised me that he'd shoot some videos with some piranhas. So
that's crazy. Yeah, when he mentioned that, I was like gonna say, actually, I'm gonna need a sub as well because I'm gonna be with Max.
I asked him to put me in his suitcase. So.
Yeah. So that's super interesting. On what he's doing now, obviously business like BNI groups too, right? Like you've tried that over the years.
Yeah. So I would say, for me personally, focusing on really developing relationships with power partners, people that I can refer business to and vice versa. That's been the most successful, and also having some sort of follow-up program with my existing clients, and then also having a really nice referral program and different incentives for my clients. And usually if there's a holiday coming up, I'll run different promotions and things like that to make it fun for my clients. So
how many clients do you see average on a week?
It varies from week to week. I would say probably the max that I would want to work with in a day would probably be 5, because it is very physically demanding. So it just varies from week to week, and want to make sure that every client is getting 100% of me.
Because these are like hour and a half, 2-hour sessions, right?
They're anywhere from an hour to usually 90 minutes. I've had some clients go a little over
so 5
that.
hours. Excuse me. 5 hours is, there's a lot of extra stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Is there things that people could be doing to, somewhat help with their flexibility or stretching? Like I know that obviously everybody says stretch, but is there a right way and a wrong way to do that?
Well, there's a lot of different components to helping with better mobility, better stretching. And one of the key things that I always look at is how well hydrated the people are that are coming in. If their system is balanced with electrolytes, what does their diet look like? Because if they have a very high inflammation diet with a lot of sugar, a lot of red meats and things like that, that's going to cause more inflammation in the body. So I, talk to them about that. So it's not just
that you're looking at like the causing, like you were saying before, the preventative rather than, man, I'm really sore. Okay, just do this and it goes away and then it comes back and it goes away and it comes back. Yeah.
The whole goal is to give them homework assignments and have them uncover maybe some reasons why they may be so tight, or if they're not getting adequate amount of sleep, or if their body's just not recovering as much, or maybe they have a very, a job that maybe they're doing a lot of sitting, not walking around a lot, things
So we're
like
going to find out about all of this on Saturday and start telling you my diet and exercise routine and all that sort of stuff, and my mostly lack of sleep. But
okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll have to maybe I'll like document a little bit of it and we can patch this in at the end. What do you think, Gabe?
Yeah. Another key piece that I've noticed too, and there's actually a guy by the name of Tom Myers that talks about this in his videos, that he talks about emotions are actually sitting in the webbing of the fascia. So many times if people have unresolved things that they're dealing with, maybe suppressed feelings, sometimes that can lead to areas being locked up.
So if you're worried and tense, maybe, like that, or is that
And so what people are feeling internally, that they're just sweeping under the rug.
Or like even just here in your jaw, right?
Clenching. Yeah. Can lead to TMJ, and there's a bunch of fun things like that. Yeah, absolutely. So
that's a good tip then. If you're noticing that you're getting unusual or recent aches and pains or whatnot, then this is something that you want to maybe look into.
Absolutely. So what I like to bring up to people is notice when you're stressed. Where do you hold your stress? Because there's usually something connected with that. And some people carry it on the tops of their shoulders, their stomach, low back, hamstrings. It's just a good starting place. Then we know, as I'm working with that client, how I can better.
Yeah, I wonder where I hold stress. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really grind my teeth. My jaw feels fine.
Clench, yeah.
Are there people that like just don't hold it physically, but it's like, I don't know, goes into your brain or something, and you just get a headache?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Or they're just super stressed from all the daily obligations they have, and so this will just help them just relax and melt into the table and just do a quick reset. So
good. I'm looking forward to my my appointment, and I'm going to keep you guys all updated on what happened, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on today. Appreciate it.
Cheers.